Hola y gracias para ver. Hello, thanks for watching. This is your practice video if you want to spend a little bit more time practicing and reviewing for the test. Práctica para el examen. First of all, your vocabulary charts, obviously, you need to study. Your gustar with infinitives. You have notes in your spiral. Pronouns after prepositions. Ir, jugar, querer, AR verb conjugations, and then numbers 1 through 100. You also have these notes. Gustar with infinitives, pronouns after prepositions, ir, jugar, and querer, and AR verb conjugations. Those videos are on my blog, so if you want to rewatch those, they're also in your email from last week when we watched them in class. So rewatch those if you want to take advantage of that. Okay, first thing, vocabulary. The two charts that you need to know, the fronts and backs of the one that starts with ¿Qué te gusta hacer at the top? Like, what do you like to do? Oops. ¿Qué te gusta hacer? And then also all of those infinitives that are underneath it, alquilar videos, cantar, comer, correr, dibujar. And then also you need to know the list that starts with aburrido. And those are all the descriptions. Aburrido, activo, alto, antipático, etc. Okay, make sure that when you're studying vocabulary that you study from Spanish to English, and then from English to Spanish. If you constantly give yourself the answer, you're not studying. You need to look at just the English and then be able to say the Spanish or write the Spanish. You need to be able to produce the Spanish in order to be successful. Okay, gustar with infinitives. We talked a little bit about gustar with infinitives today, and we talked about it last week in your notes. Remember, on your test tomorrow, I'm going to be giving you an infinitive, a picture of something, and then I'm going to ask you to ask a friend if he or she likes to do that thing. So let's say that this picture is of somebody swimming. So you know that I'm talking about nadar, right? That would be the infinitive to use. And then I want you to ask a friend, do you like to swim? So you're just going to say, ¿Te gusta nadar? Do you like to swim? And remember, we can say a ti in front, and then te gusta if you want. The a ti part is optional. Okay, if you're going to use it, make sure you use the a in front of the t and then the accent mark over the t. So you try one. Let's say that here's oh goodness, Gustar. Let's say that here's another picture, and this is of someone eating. So you know that comer is your infinitive. So what would your sentence be? Think about it or write it down. What would your sentence be? Okay, if you said, ¿Te gusta comer? Well, you got it. ¿Te gusta comer? Do you like to eat? So basically we're going to keep the do you like part the same on all of these, but then we're going to fill in with a different infinitive. Make sure you always use gusta and not gustan because we're using them with infinitives. Pronouns after prepositions. We talked about this, how when we use pronouns, remember a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun in English, okay? Like I, he, she, it, and in Spanish it's yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, ellos, ellas, ustedes, okay? When we use pronouns after prepositions, we talked about how in class we can't say a yo, we can't say a tú, we have to say a me and a ti. On this section on the test, I'm going to ask you to use the verb ir in the first blank, and then use a pronoun after a preposition in the second blank. So it'll say something like, yo blank a ir al cine porque blank porque a blank me gusta los videos. Like, I like the videos. So I'm going to go to the movies because I like the videos. So yo, you want to use a form of ir. Yo voy, I go. I'm going to go to the movies because a me. And I use a me because of this me here. So basically we just have to look to this to say what they're liking and figure out which pronoun to go there. So make sure you know pronouns Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, and so forth. But remember, we don't say a yo and we don't say a tú. We have to say a mí, a ti. Ir, jugar, and querer. We need to know how to conjugate all three of these verbs. Okay, remember that with ir, it is an irregular verb. So when we conjugate it, we say voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. With jugar, it's a stem changer. So we change the stem to UE, juego, juegas, and then juega. Jugamos, remember in nosotros and vosotros, it does not stem change. Jugáis and juegan. And then querer is a stem changer as well. Same rules apply, but now we change the E to an IE. Quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, queréis, and quieren. Watch your spelling on verbs. Remember, I give you leeway on the vocabulary, the spelling of the vocabulary, but not for the verbs. Same applies with accent marks. I'll give you a little leeway on the accent marks with vocabulary, but not on the verbs. AR verb conjugations. Make sure you know how to conjugate an AR verb. Remember our little chart. We fill in with the endings. Yo, o, tú, as, él, a, nosotros, amos, vosotros, ais, ellos, an. So I'm going to give you a verb, like let's say I give you nadar in parentheses. Just a regular AR verb, and then I'm going to give you a sentence, and I want you to find the subject and fill in the verb, and you'll have to conjugate it. So like if you find the subject and it's yo, you just take off the AR, and then you add your ending, yo nado. If you find the subject and it's tú, take off the AR, tú nadas, and so forth. Numbers. Remember I told you we need to know 1 through 100, but as long as you know the tens, then I know you can count the rest of the way up. So we'll start with 10. Okay? Remember 10 is 10, and 20 is 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, 90, 90, and 100, 100. Practice writing those because we want to also know how to spell them. So practice writing them out and then use your notes to check them. Okay, write them out and see if you can get them all. Okay, we can fill them in. 10 would be 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 70, 70, oh, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 60, 60, and 70, 70, 80, 80, 90, 90, and 100, 100. Okay, so that's it for the video, but go back and take your notes from today where we practice the different things that might be on your test, and really practice those things. And remember that the information is very important, and the fact that you know your notes and know your vocabulary and memorize those things, that's very, very important. But we need to be able to take those things and apply them and really use them and speak the language. Okay, I know that we've talked about how if you need to speak Spanish in a foreign country, they're not going to hand you a multiple choice test to see if you can answer those questions. They're going to ask you to speak to them. Okay, so when we talked about the verb querer, talked about the verb querer today, and I told you how, like, you had to know querer, and you have to know its conjugations. Quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, queréis, quieren. You also want to be able to use it. So, like, if I give you a subject tomorrow, like, let's say I give you ustedes as your subject, and I give you bailar, and I want you to ask, I'm going to ask you on the test to ask a question with this information and answer that same question. So you want to use querer. You want to ask, do y'all, ustedes, do y'all want to dance? So ustedes, and I want to conjugate, quieren bailar. Do y'all want to dance? And then you want to answer back and say yes or no if you want to do it. Sí. Remember when we're asked with ustedes, we answer back with nosotros. Because if I walked up to you and I said, hey, do y'all want to dance? Then you would say back, yes, we want to dance. Do y'all want to do something? Yes, we do. So sí, queremos. And remember, you can put nosotros in there if you want. Queremos bailar. Yes, we want to dance. Okay, make sure we spell querer correct, and we're able to ask questions and answer with that. All right, well, I think that's about it. Have a great night, prepare, and let's see which class wins the average contest.